Hello. White nationalism is a cult and hobby club. That's right. You see, if one looks at white nationalism across social media, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, you can see now that it's just a cult and hobby club. The cult will be being pushed by cultists. Some of them will be weirdos and cranks and oddbods. Same with the hobby club. That will consist of people, some good people, who believe they're doing white nationalism good by pushing the hobby club and the hobby issues and topics and subjects like cultural Marxism, femininity, masculinity, feminism, white women not having babies, and talking about issues of that nature that 99.9% of the public are not interested in. Like they're not interested in the cult issues, the cultist push, which is save the white race, white genocide and the great replacement and so on, right? 99.99% of the public's not interested. The public's only interested in what's happening to them now as I speak. They're not interested in that whites may be a minority in 40 years, but most won't even be here then. It's that stupid, but our enemies know it's stupid. That's why they're pushing it. So in most cases, the cult and hobby club will be being pushed by our enemies. Nick Lawless's Hope Not Hate, Jerry Gable's Searchlight magazine, the big boys in MI5, and the Southern Poverty Law Centre in America, and other agencies around the world hostile to white nationalism. Yes, in the cult there'll be a few weirdos, crackpots and screwballs, and in the hobby clubs there'll be the same, but also some good people that believe they're doing right when they're not. They're keeping everyone in a playpen, talking about issues that are taking us nowhere. They can't take us anywhere, right? Our enemies know they can't, right? Also as well, Joe Owens' YouTube statistics are obviously being tampered with. It takes me ages to get like 1,000 views. To get even more than that takes even longer, right? A few days, a week may go by, I've had 600 views, whereas other white nationalist channels on YouTube, some are genuine, some aren't, some are working with the enemy, they have tens of thousands of views overnight, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I have 2,500. So my statistics are definitely being messed with. Also, while I'm on the subject, who wants to interview Joe Owens on social media? Those with a presence that interview everyone else seem to be ignoring Joe Owens like I've got nothing to say, when I've got plenty to say. What I say is quite controversial. But yet no one's queuing up to interview Joe Owens. How about you, Nick Griffin, Jack Sen, and all the rest that are out there, you know you are, right, that have a presence on social media. Do you want to come and interview Joe Owens? Let's hear what Joe Owens has to say. Well, I await with bated breath to see whether or not you do or not. Okay, thank you. Hello. Just to add to this video, when I say the public's not interested, it's not interested in deep issues about the rights and wrongs of masculinity, femininity, feminism, whether or not white women are having enough babies and so on and so on. These are big issues that are over their heads. Plus, they don't need to be concerned with issues like that. All they're concerned about is, do they have a job to go to? Do they have a house to live in? Do they have enough money to put food on the table? Who's going to fix the roads, the trains? Who's going to stop the crime? Who's going to stop immigrants moving into their area? And so on and so on and so on. They're not interested in these big issues that are complex and over their heads. Why would they be interested in them exactly? Why would they be interested in some big in-depth debate as to how whites are going to be a minority in 40 years' time? They won't be here then, right? They want to know what you're going to do now to alleviate the problems they're facing. Not about whether or not feminism's right, or whether or not men are now masculine, or should I say, whether or not men are not as masculine today as they used to be, or women not as feminine as they used to be, and the rights and wrongs of feminism, and so on and so on, or cultural Marxism, which plays no part in the average person's daily lives, does it? Of course it does. Not interested. These are big issues and topics over their heads. And like I've said, why would they care about such issues? They wouldn't. They are only interested about their kids, when they've got a job to go to, they've got enough money to pay the bills, when they've got a house to live in, and so on and so on and so on. Now, everything is playing into our hands at the moment regarding mass immigration, because that's impacting everything, that's affecting our people, such as when they've got a job to go to, whether or not they can get on the London Underground, right? When they get on the first, second or third train, and when they do, they're crushed like sardines. Are they going to get mugged, you know, coming out the train station? Are they get mugged going about their daily lives, and so on and so on? Will they get their child in the school of choice because they'll be competing with the migrant baby boom, and so on and so on and so on? You know, the NHS has been impacted upon third world immigration. The list is endless. They're not interested in these issues like feminism, cultural Marxism, save the white race, great replacement, white genocide. I mean, they're just cults in the eyes of the public. As far as the public concerned, save the white race is no different than save the duck-billed platypus or the dodo. They don't understand, and why? Why would they, and why should they understand? They don't need to, right? We need to address their problems now, right? Which third world immigration is making worse by the day, right? Like I've said, trains, the roads, crime, schools, hospitals, the list is endless. They're not interested in these issues as to who's having babies and who isn't. They just want the problems they face today sorted, and we've got the answers. But yet we're running around in circles in cults and hobby clubs achieving nothing, and we know why that's happening. So come on, who's going to interview Joe Owens? Let Joe Owens have his say. Okay, thank you.